So let me take you to a slightly older concept which we had discussed in the beginning of our classes, that up bar, down bar, outside bar and inside bar. And now I believe that you people will be more comfortable with this terminology. Now let me ask you a very simple question. Up bar. Up bar is something like this. This is an up bar. Once I draw it like this, it is very easy to illustrate for me and for you to comprehend, because we call it up bar because it is making a higher high and a higher low. So I will define it as higher high and higher low setup. But same thing, if I draw like this, you will face no problem in comprehending this because both the candles are green. But suppose I convert this particular candle into a red candle. Now, what is the difference between this setup and this setup, which I had previously drawn, where both the candles were green in color? Both these are up bars, but which is a stronger setup? Vijay, can you tell me, out of the two, which
So yeah, both the greens are strong because where we have read there was a price rejection.
okay? So if at the end of the day, I have to ask you how was the day, then in this particular case, you will say that the day was good. In this particular case, you will say that the day was not good, isn't it?
Um, Kind of, yes.
Okay, now let me make another setup, same up bar setup, where this first candle is green and then there was a gap up, and after the gap up, it was red. Now you tell me which of the three is, how would you classify them as 1, 2, 3 as per the strength?
The last one has more strength. One, the reason because it has a gap up,
Hmm,
and once it has a gap up, the price had a price rejection, and it
hmm.
came down. It is still sustaining above the gap. So the third one is strong.
Okay, so that means in this first case also, as per you, there was a price rejection, and in the second one, in this third one also, there was a price rejection. But
Yep.
this one you said is weak, whereas this one you say is strong, right? Despite there being a price rejection.
Yep.
So just think about it as why you have derived or why you have come down to this particular conclusion. If I tell you one particular thing, that instead of price rejection, you just look at the closing price. What has happened here is that here the price has closed below, this was this candle's close, this was this candle's close, and the price has closed below previous day's close in this particular configuration. Whereas here, price has closed up, and here also price has closed up. So basically, all the three are up bars. But if we have to talk about comparative strength, then it is on the basis of closing prices that we conclude how was the current candle vis-a-vis its previous candle. Is it making more sense or not?
Yes, sir. It is.
And it is making our work of explanation also so easy that yes, earlier we were able to visualize, and on the basis of our visualization we were able to say that yes, this is strong, this is strong, and this is not so strong, although all the three are up bars. But once we use this concept of closing price, we can say, yes, now we are able to say it much better. In this particular case, suppose the same candle comes and closes like this, despite it having opened as a gap up. Had it simply closed below the close of previous candle, these two would have become similar. The first one and third one would become similar because the closing price has again come below the closing price of previous candle. So that means if we, at the end of the day, if we have to compare the current day with the previous day, it is on the basis of closing prices only that we can conclude better.
If you like this video, don't forget to hit thumbs up, subscribe to Raghu Mantra classes and press the bell icon to receive updates about future videos.
Similarly, let me take one more example of outside bar. As we all know, outside bar is one bar like this and the second bar like this. Here also, let me draw a few different instances where first candle is almost similar looking. Let me make it green. And outside bar, this is one outside bar. But instead of this outside bar, if the second outside bar is like this, it will have a different meaning. And if it is like this, it will have a still different meaning. Why? Again, here the closing price is above the previous candle's closing price. Here the closing price in second outside bar is below the closing price of first candle, and in third one also even it has gone further down. So the same conclusion which we drew in case of up bar, same we have to draw in case of outside bar, that it is on the basis of closing prices that we conclude how was the current candle vis-a-vis its previous candle. Any doubt about this particular conclusion that we have drawn? You people can give more thought to it later, but immediately if anything is coming to your mind, you can ask me. So on the basis of what I have tried to illustrate or explain to you people so far, if I tell you that if we have to talk about today's candle or today's day, whether it was bullish or bearish compared to the previous day, we have to compare the closing prices. If the current close is above the previous close, we call it as bullish. If the current close is less than previous close, we call it bearish. It is on the basis of closing price that we decide whether the price was bullish or bearish. I hope you have understood this. So we will proceed further. We will take example of last 14 days, and on the basis of those 14 days, we will try to see how on each particular day the price was bullish or bearish. So let me take you to one live chart and let me take you to the daily and let me take you to the 14 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So let me draw a vertical line here. And after that, let me convert it into a line chart. And on each of the candle, I would just draw a vertical line so as to identify each day. Now you can see, let me further zoom it, what is happening. On day 1, price is bullish. On day 2 also price is bullish. Let me make it green. Day 2 also price is bullish. Day 3 price becomes bearish. I'll make it red. Day 4 it is becoming bullish again. Bullish again. Bullish again. And then here it has become bearish. It has become bearish. It has become bearish. And it has become bearish. We have taken data of last 14 days and we see out of these 14 days, 4 days price was bearish here in consecutive and 1 day here. So 4 plus 1, 5 days price was bearish. But on 9 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 days price was bullish. The same thing I have tried to draw on our slide here, that price is bullish, then bearish, then bullish, like this, then 1 day bearish. And each day the difference between the closing prices has been marked. So if I take you to this particular chart, we can mark these differences. Just say here the price had closed at 17,532 and here it closed at 17,691. So this difference I can write down here also. So in this slide I have written down the differences. Then what we do, we calculate the average gain and the average loss. What is the average gain? Average gain is the sum of gains over the past 14 period divided by 14. So whatever green lines are there, we calculated a sum of that and divided it by 14. Similarly, whatever red lines were there, we calculated an average of that, and like this we got average gain and average loss. When we divide this average gain by average loss, we can derive at this particular term which is known as relative strength. So what is relative strength? Relative strength is average gain over the period of 14 days divided by average loss over those 14 days. If the result is more than 1, that means net we are strong. If the result is less than 1, that means net we are weak. Ragini, any problem in understanding so far? Ragini, I'm not able to hear. You are saying yes or no. If anybody is not asking, then I will assume that they are not there. Okay, she says no problem. Okay, anybody else? Any issues in understanding so far?
All clear, sir.
Right. So now, once we understand what is the relative strength, we move from relative strength to relative strength index. So here in this slide, what I have tried to do, I have calculated this average gain as 4.642 and average loss as 1.5. And when I divide average gain by average loss, that is when I divide 4.6 by 1.5, I reach a figure of 3.09, and this 3.09 is my relative strength. Up to this particular, these 3 lines are derived from our previous slide. Now we have this formula of RSI, which I mentioned in the beginning. This is a statistical jugglery. So this is RS. RS is relative strength which we have calculated. And when we put this value of RS here, we derive a particular figure which is known as RSI. So when relative strength or RS is 3.09, our RSI is coming to 75. In the same formula, if I put RS as 1, see now currently in this illustration, I have put RS as 3.09. But if I put RS as 1, what will happen? Chirag, can you calculate that for me? You can take your own time, but just calculate and tell me that if you put, yes, if you put RS as 1, the value would be 50. Let us try to put it. This is our formula. Here, 100 minus 100 divided by 1 plus 1. That means 100 minus 100 divided by 2. That means 100 minus 50. That means 50. So when RS is 1, RSI is 50. And as we have written here, when RS or relative strength is more than 1, we are strong. If it is less than 1, we are weak. So on the basis of same derivative, when RSI is above 50, we are strong. So what I can say, when RS is 1, RSI is 50. So when RS is more than 1, when RS is greater than 1, RSI would be greater than 50, and that would mean strength. Similarly, when RS is less than 1, RSI would be less than 50, and that would mean weakness. So I hope this illustration, where I have tried to explain that RSI 14, whenever we go to our chart and try to put our RSI indicator, in this RSI indicator, what is happening is, if I go into the setting, you will see it is written as length is 14. In most of the softwares, starting softwares, if you look at RSI, it will be mentioned as RSI 14. So the designer of, or the innovator of this RSI, his name was Mr. Wallace Wilder. He calculated RSI and used 14-day period in the above manner as I have shown to you. So what goes beyond RSI is basically relative strength for last 14 days. Relative strength during last 14 days. So out of 14 days, some days would be strong, some days would be weak, some days would be bullish, some days would be bearish, as we have seen in our this live chart also. Then what we do, we calculate how strong and how weak. Take an average of the strong or bullish days, take an average of the weak or bearish days, divide the two, and we reach at this figure, which is the relative strength for last 14 days. If this relative strength is more than 1, We know it from our common sense. For that, we do not need much more of arithmetic. If this relative strength is more than 1, we are strong. If this relative strength is less than 1, we are weak. And then as we put this RS into this RSI formula, we know that RS is equal to 1 corresponds to RSI is equal to 50. And we conclude that when RSI is greater than 50, we are strong. And when RSI is less than 50, we are weak. This much only we need to understand about calculation of RSI and the logic behind it.
If you like this video, don't forget to hit thumbs up, subscribe to Raghu Mantra classes and press the bell icon to receive updates about future videos.